The Grand Assembly Hall of Zentara Prime fell silent as Emperor Vexthor's voice boomed across the chamber. His scales shimmered with bioluminescent distress as he gazed at the gathered representatives from across the Galactic Union. "Is there no one brave enough to marry my daughter?" Jennifer stood beside her father's throne, her human features stark against the alien architecture. She was the product of a rare union. Her mother had been human, her father the most powerful Zentarian in known space. The genetic compatibility had been a miracle of science, but it had also cursed her with something the galaxy had never seen: the resonance. Every 7 cycles, Jennifer's mixed biology triggered a psychic storm that could devastate entire star systems. The only way to stabilize her condition was through a neural bond, a marriage, in the ancient Zentarian tradition, with someone whose brainwaves could harmonize with hers during the storm. But here was the problem. The resonance killed anyone who failed to establish that harmony. Instantly. Painfully. 17 suitors had tried, 17 had died. The assembly remained deathly quiet. Kron warriors, feared across 12 sectors, suddenly found their boots fascinating. The telepathic Eldari, who could bend reality with their minds, conveniently remembered pressing appointments elsewhere. Even the silicon-based Vrex, who prided themselves on their logical fearlessness, calculated the odds and found them unfavorable. Jennifer's eyes, startlingly blue in the chamber's crimson light, scanned the crowd without hope. She'd stopped believing 6 bodies ago. Her father's desperation had become her burden. In 3 days, the next resonance would hit. Without a bonded partner, she would have to be placed in stasis, a living death, frozen forever to protect the innocent. "I'll do it." The voice came from the back of the hall, human, male, steady. The crowd parted like water as Alex Morrison walked forward. He wore the simple uniform of the Terran Survey Corps, his boots clicking against the crystalline floor with each step. He was unremarkable by galactic standards. No scales, no extra limbs, no psychic abilities. Just a human xenobiologist who'd been studying Zentarian flora in the outer colonies. Emperor Vexthor's eyes narrowed. "Human, do you understand what you're volunteering for? The resonance has killed beings far more powerful than your kind." "I understand, Your Majesty." Alex stopped at the base of the throne, looking up at Jennifer. Their eyes met, and something passed between them. Not psychic, just human recognition of another soul in pain. "I've read all 17 autopsy reports. I know exactly what I'm volunteering for." "Then you're either brave or foolish," Vexthor growled. "Both, probably." Alex managed a slight smile. "But that's kind of a human specialty." A murmur rippled through the assembly. Humans were new to the Galactic Union. Barely 2 generations since first contact. They were considered primitive, stubborn, and irrationally emotional. Their neural patterns were chaotic compared to other species. More random, less predictable, almost jazz-like in their complexity. Jennifer descended the throne steps slowly. "Why?" Her voice was barely a whisper. "You don't know me. You don't owe us anything." Alex met her gaze steadily. "I've been on Zentara Prime for 3 months. I've seen how your father looks at you, like he's already grieving. I've heard the way people whisper about you, like you're a monster instead of a person who's suffering." He paused. "And I've read your research on cross-species botanical symbiosis. Your paper on adaptive resonance in plant colonies was brilliant. Someone that smart, that curious about life, doesn't deserve to be frozen away from it." For the first time in months, Jennifer felt something other than despair. "That paper had 7 citations. You actually read it?" "Read it? I based my entire field study on your methodology." Alex smiled, genuine and warm. "You're not just the Emperor's daughter. You're a scientist. A good one." The next 2 days passed in a blur of preparation. Zentarian priests performed ancient rituals. Human doctors monitored Alex's vitals obsessively. Jennifer and Alex spent hours together, talking about everything and nothing: xenobiology, old Earth movies, the weird way Kron warriors always drank their beverages from the wrong end of the glass. When the resonance began, they were ready, as much as anyone could be. Jennifer's body erupted with psychic energy, waves of destructive force radiating from her in pulses. Alex, connected to her through the neural interface, felt his consciousness slam into hers like a meteor strike. The chaos should have killed him instantly. His human brain, so different from the previous suitors, should have shattered under the pressure. Instead, something miraculous happened. Where other species had tried to impose order on Jennifer's chaos, to control or contain it, Alex's mind did something different. It adapted, it flowed, it harmonized not by matching her patterns exactly, but by complementing them, filling the spaces between her notes with his own, creating something new. Humans, it turned out, were really good at chaos. They'd evolved in it, thrived in it, made art from it. Their neural patterns weren't a weakness but a strength, flexible, adaptive, endlessly creative. The resonance that should have killed them both instead became a symphony. When Jennifer opened her eyes, she was still alive. So was Alex, though he looked exhausted and slightly singed around the edges. "That," he gasped, "was the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced. And I once got chased by a Vrex mining drone across 3 asteroid fields." Jennifer laughed, actually laughed, for the first time since her mother died. "Welcome to the family." Emperor Vexthor stared at them both, his scales flickering between shock and relief. The assembly broke into chaos, everyone talking at once, but Alex only had eyes for Jennifer, his wife now by Zentarian law and cosmic necessity. "So," he said, "about that botanical research. I have some ideas about adaptive symbiosis that I think you'd find interesting." She smiled. "We have the rest of our lives to discuss them." And somewhere in the galaxy, humanity earned another notch in its growing reputation. Too stubborn to die, too curious to quit, brave enough to step forward when everyone else stepped back. Humanity, fad yeah.